On dirait que c'est la nuit de Julie, mais pas du tout, c'était là. Just an short south view. The idea of proposing readings from the experience of each one of the investigators seemed to me to be excellent. No tenemos el para pasar nosotros las diapositivas. Ya pasó. The importance of difference to open new direction of research. Certainly, there are different lectures in each country, and the several levels of focus about these topics. They are many things for reflection for us. The megaliths, as the only visible reference of their builders, are replaced from the spectacular works of our Danish and German colleagues who have contributed with an information of enormous quality for associating settlement and necropolis, which allow us to establish the power and capacity of aggregation of these human groups. And the difference of focus that propose our colleagues like Cummins, Richard, Connie, etc. is very suggestive. Join alt is very enriching for us. No. There are a core point in the major directions. The hypothesis of Renfrew about polygenetic megalithism has the C14 to confirm the contemporaneity of diverse architectures. At the same time, it's possible to confirm the relationship between all the Atlantic facade through the raw material, like the body site, or through the symbol carved and painted. That last possibility is very available through the last investigation at Brittany. The oldest chronologies, possibly by the first half of 5th millennium Cal BC, began the generation of ideas around ancestor graves. This chronology has interesting data in Iberian Peninsula, especially the knowledge about the symbolic paintings are schematic and perhaps making at the same time menhirs. These graphic expressions have been revealed as one of the parameters of analyze the complex use of these funeral spaces. Megalithic art, carved and painted as a reference to analyze the biography of the monument. Its position, its technology, its graphical speech offered arguments to value reutilizations, rebuildings, and maintenance for the funeral space. Even in the case of the Iberian Peninsula, the use of painting has allowed us to obtain direct chronologies of these events, and we have expectation of being able to do the same type of approximation in the continental megaliths. Barnett's paintings are just the beginning, because we are sure that from now on, all the investigators will bear in mind this possibility, and the megalithic site will be increased to the present of painting. this meeting contributes to an extension of readings on the European megalithismus that helps us to enrich its perspective of analysis. Luke, c'est à toi.
Well, first of all, I agree with you, Mimi, that this day has been very rich. I must say there was one communication today and yesterday also where I did not learn something. So it's very, very interesting. Very many thanks to everybody. That's the main point. It's not so common in colloquium to say the truth. But really, it has been very rich. Could we have the... Thank you. So, what the point is not to make congratulations, because that's really a very, very interesting day with everybody. But I would prefer to propose you a very, very subjective point of view, what I call the chemin de traverse. I don't know, Chris, how this could be translated in English. Well, I heard about many things, some common point, talking about architecture, that is time, space, and action. A different scale, obviously, landscape, and perhaps we found it today about landscape, preoccupation we've seen in the Iberian Peninsula also, but in different way, different point of view, about monuments or about the chamber with preservation status, which are quite different. We've heard about sequences and chaîne opératoire, obviously. Not as much about building site, but very interesting things also. Chronology, this leads us to chronology, demography, memory, society. Another point was big stones or not, who said monumental, and this has something, for what I heard, to do with expose or hide in things, function or not, even in so far countries from Europe as Polynesia and Micronesia, ostentations, or as said Torben at the conclusion yesterday at night, shared secrets. We heard about construction also. That is observation, reconstruction, experiment. About collective effort, which is what is so tremendous in megalithism, but also about laziness. What is incorporated, integrated, or reused. And in a bit a tricky way, I don't find a word, but what in the 19th century they would call terms of temple. Are the funerary function the best one, and about modeling. I noticed that about problems that had been there since 1 century, for example, how do you reconstruct by them our mind, what we can observe? There are some astonishing difference between stone mental reconstruction and opposition with timber mental reconstruction. People who accept timber mental reconstruction easily don't accept stone mental reconstruction. And people who accept stone mental reconstruction have some reticency, I don't know if it's a word, for timber mental reconstruction. And it's more or less the same problem since more than a century, isn't it? The next one, please. So, following with this very subjective point of view, first of all, I hope we all had something to share during these 2 days. As say, maybe different ways of thinking and practicing archaeology on the same subject. First of all, dialogue, what is important for us, what's a new idea, and what elements are valid for demonstration is archaeology cumulative discipline or not. These are differences also between what I've heard from different countries. Dialogue also between what we can see today and for what I said, our mental reconstruction. Obviously, we are all looking at what has disappeared, but not giving the same weight to material evidences. And some prefer giving a certain weight to material evidences we can see, other to material evidences that has disappeared, and others prefer privilege the significance of all this for populations that have disappeared. Another dialogue between general occurrence and local specificity. Trying to renew thinking, firstly, mainly, tends to highlight general frames. On the other hand, it can have, paradoxically, a very normative effect, like ideology. And that could be somewhat a problem. Trying to renew observations, firstly, mainly, tends to highlight local diversity, and at the same time, cannot avoid the risk of too rapid generalization, which is another problem also. For myself and this subjective point of view, I really think that new knowledge will come from what we have just under our eyes and that we have not seen yet. Many thanks.